So these are the bracelets that we're making today. They're kind of a twist on the typical friendship bracelet. These are actually woven and they look so like intense and complex, but they're actually the easiest friendship bracelets to make out of all the friendship bracelets I've ever tried to make. So I hope that you guys like this video and let's get started. So the first thing that you need is a pair of scissors. Just for like cutting and whatever. And then you're also going to need some pliers if you're going to use jump rings, and some tape. Then you also need a pen or a pencil, something that you can just write with, and then some sort of board, like harder Bristol-y kind of boards. I'm just using a package from a granola bar, and then you need something round that you can trace. It doesn't really matter how big it is, just something you can trace. Then some embroidery floss in 7 different colors. You need 3 jump rings and 1 lobster clasp to do this, and then that's it. So the first thing you're going to do is take your piece of cardboard and trace your circle. I'm just using one of my powders here, but you just need like to make the weaver, so that's why you use the cardboard. So then just cut the circle out. And this next part's going to be kind of hard to see because there is writing on the box, but it's pretty simple and I'm sure you'll get the idea. So you have your circle and then you just want to split it into 8 sections like you're cutting a pizza. So, you know, just exactly how I'm doing it. Isn't that fun? I know, sorry that there's like writing all over the box. It kind of makes it more complicated, but whatever. And then right where they all meet, you want to draw a little circle and you want to make a hole there. So I just take my pen and press it through. And you want to make it significantly large, so I just press it through and pull the entire pen through, and that's how big I make mine. And then just trim off those little like edges that are poking out. Okay, then you want to cut along the lines that you drew, and you only want to cut halfway though. And then you want to cut 7 pieces of string about 24 inches long, depending on how big you want your bracelet to be. Then take your first jump ring and loop it on, and then tie a knot with the jump ring inside of the knot, if that makes any sense. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. See? It's like inside. And then just add some super glue. You don't have to, this is totally optional, but just to keep everything in place, I just like to make sure and add some super glue. Then you want to put the end of it through the weaver. And then I like to just tape it to the backside when I'm first starting so that it's not flobbling around. Flobbling? Is that a word? Flopping? It's not flopping around, but you don't have to do this. That's once again totally optional. So I just like to tape it down, and then you want to separate your strands and put one in each of the holes. Now the key to this, you know, procedure or task or craft or whatever you want to call it is that there are 7 strings, but there's 8 slices in your weave, or in your board. I don't know what you would call that. In your loom? Is it really kind of like a loom? I don't know. This is very confusing for myself to try to explain to you. Hopefully you can just look and see what I'm doing. So see how there's one that doesn't have any? You want to make sure that that one's always facing your body. Then you're going to count up 3 strings, take the 3rd string out of its like slot and put it into the empty one. Then you want to turn your loom thing around and count up 3 again. Make sure that that empty one is facing you. So count up 3, take the 3rd one, and put it in. And that's all you have to do. Just keep repeating that. Turn it, count to 3, turn it, count to 3, and eventually it starts to become this really long, cool braided chain. And you can just tape the tape off whenever you feel like it's comfortable enough to just grow on its own. So I had all this extra string because I was originally going to make a necklace, but then I decided to make a bracelet. But for a bracelet, you only need 24 inches, which is what I told you to cut. So just ignore the fact that there's like all this extra string on mine. Okay, so once you have it the length that you want it to be, just take all of the strands of string out of the loom guy. We're going to call it a loom. And you don't have to be too careful. It's not really going to unravel on you or anything. So here I am, just struggling to remove them. Okay, so once it's out, you want to cut off any extra. Obviously, I had a ton. And then tie a knot to separate your strands and tie a knot. And after the first knot, you want to pick one of the sides, it doesn't matter which one, and add your jump ring. And your jump ring, you can attach a clasp to it so that you can close it or whatever. Oh yeah, and then tie another knot. And then after you tie the second knot, that's what's going to keep it in place. You're just going to add a little bit of super glue again. And I used my pliers to open my jump ring to put the little lobster clasp on, but I forgot to show you that part. But yeah, that's what it looks like done. So if you missed my last 2 videos, the one on the left is my hair disaster storytelling, as well as it tells you the giveaway winners for my last 2 giveaways. And the one on the right is how to make a memory wire bracelet, which is actually probably the easiest tutorial I've ever done. So feel free to click on either of those pictures to check out those videos. I hope you guys like the one I just finished showing you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, all that fun stuff. Okay, bye guys.